Good start. Yeah, welcome to a Google from Block 5. I'm your host, SJ. Just thought I'd try a little live stream, I haven't tried it before, see how it goes, see if it's something we do in the new year. We're here recording less than 24 hours after we beat Club Brugge in the Champions League by 3-0 away from home, might I add. So, yeah, we're touching that today. If you're new here, subscribe to the channel, leave a like on the video, leave a comment, get involved, interactive, in the stream. It's all a bit of fun between fans. So it's all good. Last night we played Club Brugge and we won 3-0, and that result left us top of the league, 3 points clear by Munich. Let's have a look at the league table. Yeah, so that result left us 3 points clear at the top of the league. I got conflicting reports. I've heard that if Bayern Munich and us finish on the same points, it goes down to head-to-head, or it might go down to goals scored or goal difference, etc. I don't think it would be head-to-head. I can't see why it would be head-to-head because, we've got different... It's not like the old format where we'd have a group of four and then we play the same amount, same teams, so it's equal strength, So I've tried to look before, I couldn't find anything on the actual confirmation on the website as to what the tiebreaker rules are. But I would imagine that it's goal difference and then goals scored, etc. So, but in our last game we have Kyra, don't want to butcher their name. So those are our opponents. That's our opponent last game of the season, so last game of the league. So I think we will finish on 21 points. You'd expect us to beat them at home, especially at the Emirates, even with a rotated side. And before them, we've got Inter Milan, who sit in 6th place. PSG, their draw, they allowed us to basically knock them out of finishing above us. That's me considering that we're going to win our last game of the group stage. And I think first or second, it only will matter depending on if you're trying to avoid a team in the next round. So, I don't know, say we don't want to play Man City on that side of the draw and getting second puts us on that side. That's the only difference, because I think obviously the top two, the new format is the new change of season, which is pretty much based on what happened to us last season. The top four, they play their second leg in the knockout stages at home. Just a bit of advantage for finishing, a bit of an advantage and a bit of reward for finishing high up in the group stages. So, last season, would that have benefited us? Possibly not. We don't know. But this season, if we finish top or second, we will be at home at the Fortress at the Emirates, all the way through to the final, which is, it's got to be good, Yeah, no problem there. We'll probably finish top two, definitely. Like I said, we've got bottom of the league in our last group game. Last night, obviously before the game, there was talk of rotation. We need to rotate our team, give players rest. Declan Rice in the red zone. We're overtraining the players too much. We need to try just rotate as much as possible with squad depth, etc., etc. And it seems like Mikel Arteta listened and adhered with that. Let's have a look at our lineup from yesterday. Christian Norgard, a bit harsh on the guy. He's coming to the club from Brentford, where he's the captain. You'd say it's probably like a dream move for him, come to a Big Six team, Champions League team. And he hasn't really got much minutes this season for us. And when he does get minutes, it's at centre-back away at Club Brugge. He'll take it. He'll take any minutes he can get, to be honest, And I think on the whole, we had a good game. I don't know if we have much to do up front there. At the back there with their strikers, didn't cause much problems. We're not going to take much from his performance, him playing at centre-back, obviously his actual. But on the whole, he given a job to fill in, and he came with a clean sheet. So yeah, kudos to him. Yes, live show, yes. Welcome to the show. Again, Lewis Skelly, he came in. You expect him to play this weekend, obviously, because Calafiore is suspended, picked up his 5th booking away at Aston Villa. And Lewis Skelly, I think on the whole, Lewis Skelly had a quiet game. Wasn't troubled much. He started very conservative, in my opinion. And I think the whole team as a whole started conservative, because when you make these much changes, the relationships are not there, especially when people like Norgard playing that position. And Mikel Merino, you could say he's playing that position for us, So I think the team started very conservative, just getting to know each other, feel their way through the game. And I think that was evident in the way Mark Lewis started playing, because after a while, he started doing what he does normally, inverting, pick up the ball, drifting on the other side of the pitch, pick up the ball, being more influential, you know what I mean? So, yeah, I mean, up front we had Martinelli, Gyökeres and Madueke, 3 players all come back from injury. We're going to get some individual performances as we go through. There's a lot to talk about there. And Martin Zubimendi, he retained his place. I mean, he could be someone as we go forward that might need to be. He's played a lot of minutes in that middle for us, playing very well. And he bagged himself 2 assists. I would say in the last couple of games, Villa and Chelsea, he hasn't been his normal self. You've seen this season, even though he's playing deep, he's been very influential in an attacking sense, sometimes being the highest player at the pitch, going past the likes of Rice, going past Eze, Odegaard, depending who he's in the middle playing with. And I think he got a bit back to that form again last night, He got picking up 2 assists. I mean, the first assist isn't really an assist because, he kind of just gave the ball to Noni. Noni did the rest, but on the stat sheet, it says an assist, and that's what, that's what he's got there. So, I mean, I wasn't complaining about the lineup. I thought it was a very good lineup. I thought, considering the players we have, it's a strong lineup, good enough to go to Brugge and pick up the 3 points. And that's what the players did. So, I mean, I'm getting to individual. It's going to be a long stream today, maybe half an hour, see how it goes. I just want to get into some individual performances. I'm going to start from the top and work the way to the back. Noni Madueke. Let me know in the chat what you thought about Madueke's performance. Who was your man in the match? I mean, probably will be Noni. But Noni, I mean, he's a polarizing player in terms of when he came to the club. A few idiots started a petition. I mean, I do think we overpaid for him. That's just me. And I think when he came on against Villa and Chelsea, he played poor, giving his fresh legs. But that could just be he coming back from injury and just, feeling his way back, working his way back to form. But yesterday, he took that chance with both hands and produced a moment of brilliance in that first half. I was certainly shocked when I saw him pick up the ball. I thought, okay, Noni. And he let off a rasping shot with 25 yards, top corner off the bar. And he's got the ability. Obviously, his preferred side is the right-hand side, which is locked up by Saka. And you've got people calling for Saka to be dropped. And if that's the case, then Noni has to step in and produce performances like this. So, going forward, just skipping forward, I would keep him in the team for Wolves and give Saka a longer rest. And it's just a hope that he could continue this form going forward, because he's not going to get. You have to be real with that front line. Noni's not going to get a run of games, 2, 3, 4, 5 games in a row, because Saka is he's our vice captain. He's one of our best players, soon to be our highest paid player. Let me just check what I just want to see what Arteta said on Noni Madueke. So he said, unbelievable goal. When you talk about individual quality, individual action, a magic moment, that's it. A player that is able to pick up the ball that far, dribble past people with the quality and the power that he's done it. Same as Martinelli as well. I think at this level, you want to win games, you need individual players step up and do something different. So I'm very happy because now we have some players back in the front line and you can tell how much better we've done. That's what I agree with. We need to have options. We've been unlucky with injuries. We're not using an excuse. We've got squad depth. Obviously there's noise outside from our fans and pundits, just regarding our squad depth, and there's no excuses. We should win this. We should win that. Like we have a divine right to win anything. I mean, our history in trophies recently doesn't say that at all. And there's been clubs that have spent the same amount of money as us. But he'll have to come in. When he comes in, he has to take his chances. 100%. 100%. 100% he has to take his chances. And yeah, I mean, it can only benefit us because we're entering a period now where we're in a game every 3 days. And that's a fact. That's it. So we're going to need to maintain our levels. And we know Man City, they're 2 points behind us, you know. So it's a bit squeaky bum tight at the top of the league there in the Premier League. So yeah, we're going to need to be able to rest our players, keep them fresh. Because this is, I mean, I'm not saying this is where the season starts now, but we've got, for me, in the opinion, we've got through possibly our hardest part in terms of the start they gave us in the Premier League, with Champions League games dropped in between. And we've got through that with flying colours at the top of both leagues. So it's just, going forward. Can't wait to hear your thoughts on Gyökeres. With Jesus back and Havertz near a return, would you keep him past the summer or get rid of him and find someone better? I mean, let's move on to Senor Gyökeres. I was happy to get a striker. I was happy to get a striker this summer. Sesko or Gyökeres. I didn't have a preference between the two. It was just, I was basically just on my knees because we needed a striker for the last 2-3 years, and they're just being blatantly ignored by management and those above. And I mean, we saw Gyökeres last season when he played against us. He looked pretty bright. He gave Gabriel and Saliba, our best defenders, a run for their money. You saw him score that hat-trick against Man City in Champions League too. So he's got an ability. He's got ability. His figures are there. His goal-scoring record's there to be seen. Take them out. He's still got a decent return. But since he's been at the club, I mean, he started bright in pre-season, especially that Atletico Madrid game. That's really, really, really good because we're playing to his strengths. But since the league has started, it's been up and down. What he can't be found guilty of is not trying hard. I think he does try hard. He runs. He makes himself available. Tries to make runs in behind. But if we're not playing that way, he doesn't really, for me, really get involved. And just from yesterday and the Villa game, what I kept noticing, he's always on the floor. I can't understand why he's always on the floor. He tries to pin a defender. I don't know if it's the weight of the pass that's going into him. He's just not strong enough. But it seems that every time we try and get the ball into him, he's trying to hold off the defenders, and he ends up on the floor and he's just waving his hands in the air. We lose the ball and the ball comes back and we're defending again. So it's a tough one because obviously Gabriel Jesus, I mean, well playing, it was finding form before he got injured before against Man United early this year. Gabriel Jesus came on and he just looked better. And that doesn't mean that he played great. It was just basically in comparison to what Gyökeres was giving in that game. I mean, I saw someone say, someone told me Gabriel Jesus had a little P-roll on the edge of the box. And my thought was, okay, what shot is? That's not to bash. I'm here to bash Gyökeres. Let me just get that straight. I like Gyökeres as a player. I think he has qualities that we could use. But I'm trying to think in terms of like our previous strikers, who should he model his game more of? He seems like he's trying to do like a Giroud up front, hold players off and be like a battering ram. But he's not got that strength that Giroud had. Giroud was quality at that, you know, isn't around him. And he'll get himself that odd goal, you know, especially that near post run that he had. But on the ball, Gyökeres has shown glimpses where he's able to beat a man, shift it left to right, and get a shot off. So he's kind of in between what two different profiles of what's needed or what he wants to be. He could even learn from Marino. Marino, he's not a striker, but anything too glamorous. He drops a bit deep. I mean, that's not obviously not Gyökeres' game, that's running behind. But he allows the wingers to to flourish, and if he gets a chance, he takes it. I mean, yes, yeah. I mean, it's like Brugge. Let me know in chat your thoughts. What's your thought about Gyökeres? Oh, you asked me would I keep him past the summer? Let me just get out on the screen. Would I keep him past the summer? Yeah, I mean, you can't get rid of Gyökeres now. You got to stick with him, you know. I mean, has he got resale value really? Okay, well, I'm getting some someone just messaged me saying that my internet is glitchy. Can everyone see me? Whoever's in here, if anyone's in here, can you see me? Am I glitching? It seems fine on my screen. I mean, the show must go on. I'll continue, but I'm not getting any glitches on my end. Yeah, I mean, Gyökeres. Sorry, let's get back to that. Yeah, Gyökeres. You got to persevere with him. We'll spend big money on him. I mean, who's to say that he doesn't bag a brace against Wolves and kick on for the rest of the season? You know, it's possible. He has those qualities. Not a scrub. He's not someone we picked out the academy. We're hoping to see if he's got some kind of quality, some kind of hidden gem quality in him. He's proven past couple of seasons in Portugal that he's a goal scorer, and I think we just need to persevere with him. But like you said, with the likes of Jesus and Havertz coming back soon, he's going to have to step up and produce pretty quickly because he will find himself on the bench. And I think it's harder to obviously showcase your qualities if you're coming on the pitch with 15, 20 minutes here and there, as opposed to scoring goals and starting and playing the first 70, 80 minutes of a game. But yeah, I wouldn't get rid of him and find someone better because, I mean, to be honest, this summer, a lot of the strikers, in my opinion, made their moves. You had Voltemada, you had Ekatike, who I think would have probably suited us to a T if we got Ekatike. I don't know why we didn't go for him or if we didn't know he was available. Isak's moved. So yeah, I don't think there's a plethora of strikers on the market. I mean, if you know me, my cool preseason was to get Ollie Watkins purely because the better devil you know is the mantra I live by, you know. But yeah, no, I won't get rid of him. I'll keep him and we'll see how that goes. Another player, Martinelli. I'm interested. Can I? Yeah. So the right back, 6.1. I don't know if you can see the rating. 6.1 for their right back and Martinelli 8.3. And if I click in, ground duels, 4 out of 9. I guarantee at half time his ground duels was 0 out of 5. Because in the first half, Gabriel Martinelli was having an absolute stinker. He was in the right back's pocket for the whole half. You couldn't beat him. I could see the headlines being written about Martinelli again because he just could not beat his right back. He would just, every time he got the ball, he got robbed of him, nicked off him every single time. And then he had those half-out oranges and he came out like a man possessed. Which is probably those four ground rules that he won. And he ended up making his right back come off in the 67th minute. So I don't know what happened in that first half. Martinelli was not it. But I'm glad he redeemed himself in the second half. But obviously, in the absence of Trossard, we need some output down that left-hand side. And we need, someone to step up. And like I said, I saw the headline being written if he didn't do what he did in that second half. But I'm glad he did. And he played well. Obviously, he tracks back. He does usual track back stuff, which he done anyway. And he just did well with that shot. I mean, I thought his goal got a deflection in the first instance. I was like, it just kind of moved weird, and it kind of floated into that far corner. It was a very good shot. You've got both your wingers, Noni and Gabriel Martinelli, both scoring. So again, that's good. Great for the team because you'd say that those two possibly in recent games are I won't say backup, but there are two rotational pieces in Noni and Martinelli with Saka and Trossard. But in their absence, I don't know how long Trossard's out for. Obviously, another one on the injury list. He came on, got a goal against Aston Villa. Great little cameo. But if he's out for a sustained spell, then we've got Martinelli. I mean, I'm expecting everyone to back a goal against Wolves at the weekend. I'm disrespecting Wolves quite a bit. But yeah, Martinelli, he's doing all right, and a good goal yesterday. Let's see. I've got a little question from Ricardo. Welcome, Ricardo. And his question is: What are weaknesses as far as positioning players for January window, in your opinion? And should Arteta rotate more, like giving Kepa a start and keeping him sharp, or is he using him for the cuts? That's a good question. Let me start with the last bit of that, Kepa. Now, I said in pre-season when Kepa joined that it was a weird signing from his perspective, because you can see that he was only going to play, and then if you go back and listen, I said he's going to play the League Cup games and maybe the dead rubber of the Champions League. So I do expect him to play our last game against Kara in the Champions League, and he will play. I do expect him to play against Crystal Palace in the quarterfinals. So I just don't see why he thought he was going to get more minutes, and I don't think Arteta is wrong for not rotating in that position, especially yesterday when we had a weakened back four. You need your best keeper behind them, in my opinion, just to provide that kind of like comfort and solidity behind the defence. So no, I wouldn't have started Kepa yesterday. I think it's right to play Raya, and yeah, like I said, I thought it was a weird signing. It was good for us because he's a solid keeper. You know, he's a very experienced keeper. The clubs have been at Chelsea, Real Madrid. He was number 1 for Bournemouth last year before he joined us. But yeah, I did say in pre-season it was a weird sign for him. And yeah, I'm not surprised that he didn't start yesterday. In terms of our weaknesses and positioning that we need to possibly strengthen the January window, look, we know we signed quite a lot of players in the summer. You go back and see graphics. We've got 2 players in every position up and down the pitch. But our players are, for some reason, falling like flies. A position I would look to strengthen or just find a different option, maybe centre forward. Definitely we need another left winger. I would have strengthened left wing in the summer, but we didn't do that. We kept Trossard, gave him a new contract, same terms, more money, and he's rewarded us well with that. So, I mean, yeah, I would say I would definitely get a left winger. Do we need another centre mid? Declan Rice is running himself into the ground. You can't do that for 40, 50 games in a season. Zubimendi needs a rest. And it seems like Arteta's not really sold on Norgard. I don't know what reason it is. Surely he knew what he was like before he bought him. He may not have wanted him. It could be a Berta thing, I don't know. But so if we could get a left winger and a proper established left winger. I mean, saying that sounds a bit harsh on Trossard because he's been probably one of our better players this season in terms of he's turned up clutch in the moments we needed him. So yeah, I mean, yeah, left winger, definitely. If we can get a striker. But like I said, we've got players coming back. This is the problem. We've got players coming back, and then we could get into a position where we have too many players, and then players are not getting played, and you get unrest in the team. It's a fine balance. But in terms of as a starting 11, I would definitely get a left winger in the club if we get one in January. But who's available, you know? In January, I mean, Semenyo, he could be available, but obviously you've got the Salah situation at Liverpool. If they get 100 mil from Saudi, that will go straight into Semenyo. And that's that, really. There's no one else that we can get in that position in terms of Prem. I mean, I don't know much. Well, I say I don't know much. I'm not sure who's available overseas at the moment. But like I said, that's not our job, is it, really? Our job's to complain on the internet that we ain't got any players and complain when we do get more players. Yeah, just complain. That's our job. But yeah, let me know. Let me know who you'd buy and what weaknesses you think we have. I agree with him not liking Norgard, but you can't flog Rice. I get it. But you have to, you have to look, you have to think about, we've had so many key games recently. I'm going back, we're thinking, where would you have rested Rice? If I go back the last 4 or 5 games, we needed Rice at the weekend against Aston Villa. Important game. Brentford, okay, maybe not. Chelsea, we needed him. Bayern, we needed him. North London Derby, we needed him. We've had important games recently, in my opinion, and I think right now this is a period where we probably looked at resting our players for Club Brugge, for Wolves. I think the work that we've put in so far this season has now allowed us to rotate and give key players a rest. So I don't think it's running Rice into the ground. I think that's just Rice's game in that's just his natural game, you know. And he might look tired. Yeah, I mean, no, for Wolves, no. For Wolves, I mean, they're bottom of the league. They've got 2 points all season. I would not play Rice at all. I think you could probably get away with starting the same team you played against Club Brugge against Wolves, and have, you know, just players on the bench come off the bench if we need them. No disrespect to Wolves, but I just don't think. I mean, they made United look like freaking Man City of old, you know. But yeah, no disrespect to Wolves, but I think we should beat them, and I think we may possibly keep the same lineup that we had against Club Brugge. Welcome, Guna FC1. What are your thoughts? I hate the rest talk because there are so many injuries. Everyone keeps saying we should be resting and blame Mateta. Look, with the rest, I think we need to. I get what you're saying about the rest. These are professional footballers. I mean, we can't imagine the kind of I'm going to say pampering, the kind of treatments they get after games. They get massages, they got ice baths, they get all the top scientific stuff that they get. I mean, I don't know if you play football on a Sunday. You drive yourself home and you might get a little warm bath. You're stinging because you've got all these cuts in your leg. So the treatment they get, you would think that they were able to play more and not be rested. But this is high intensity football stuff, you know. And I get the need to play players every single game, but it's more and more seemingly the football's coming more of a squad game. Obviously you've got UEFA and FIFA throwing in more stupid competitions, Nations League, all these other little stupid Club World Cup. So I get it. I get the stance of he's going to say, look how many games Messi and Ronaldo played, and Saka and Declan's age. I get it. Yeah, they were two of the greatest players ever and need to be rested and protected more than our players. They played every game. Again, I get it. I do get it, but it's just we've kind of moved on in the times, and I think to compare everyone to Ronaldo and Messi is I don't think it's not like fair. They're two superhumans. I mean, look at Ronaldo now. I mean, how old is he? He's probably like 47. He's still playing at the top level. It's not top level, it's Saudi League, but he's still scoring goals week in, week out. It's just Messi and Ronaldo are just freaks. That's what I'm going to say. Messi's still playing well in the MLS. You could say, well, it's just MLS, whatever. But he's won back-to-back MVPs. He's led his team to the MLS Cup. And obviously Ronaldo, he's playing up front well. He's scoring goals for Portugal, you know. So he's still playing against European defenders and still scoring goals. And he's still scoring goals out in Saudi. So I get your point with those two, but I think those two are just genetic freaks, and the genetic freaks of them is the reason why they're quality footballers, and it allows them to just play every week. So yeah, but you can look at every other team. Every other team is rotating and resting because I think it's just taking a toll on these players. But what I would say, I'm with you with, if you give a player an excuse, they will definitely take it. So if the player will say, "Yeah, I'm tired," and take that easy out. That's one thing I would say. But yeah, where are we? So, sorry, I'm gonna get the lineup back up. I'm gonna look at some subs that came on. Obviously, Gabriel Jesus, welcome back, Gabby. I thought he played well. He looked bright. He likes to just drop into that little half space and link up, and maybe just his body movements, his feints. But he looked well coming on yesterday. Like I said, he looked better just in comparison to how poor, in my opinion, Gyökeres was. So any little thing Jesus did, it was going to be like, wow, he's amazing. So yeah, I mean, it's good to see him back. Hopefully he can stay fit, because I think he does have a lot to offer up front, and I think also he can play off that left-hand side very well. Obviously in the past he's played down the right-hand side for Man City too, so right across that front line, where we seem to be getting injuries left, right, and centre. If he can stay fit, he can fill in for us, So yeah, welcome back. Big shout out to Marley Salmon. I don't want to butcher his name. 16-year-old, made his debut for us yesterday. I mean, he looked good. He looked decent in pre-season, didn't he? I can't remember who he played, who against, what team he played in the pre-season, but I do remember he played that long, raking, diagonal ball to either Trossard or Martinelli. So, he's got a range of passing. The players seem to like him. I think they got a little nickname for him, Little Willow. So, obviously, he's got the ability. And it's nice to see that we keep giving our youngsters the opportunity to come through and play for the first team, I think with Brexit, the ability to get more players in at younger age is being stifled. So I don't think they can join our clubs until a certain age. So we're going to have to rely on our own academies, to bring talent through. We've lost a few players in Heaven and Chidobe to Man United, but we're still producing other players in other areas. Let me just get to a question from Ricardo. Does Klopp need more time, or does he suit our play, or is he just an alternative? I touched on this. You've got to remember he's coming back from injury, so we've got to factor that in. Obviously, I think he does need more time. He's coming from a different league, different pace, trying to integrate into our style of play. But time does run out at some point. At this moment now, we have players missing in terms of Havertz, Gabriel Jesus. He's coming back now. So he's been afforded more time on the pitch. I think had those players been fit, those run of games that he played earlier in the season may have not happened. Given he had those run of games before, prior to getting injured, you expect him to be a bit more bedded in with the team, But I'm not sure if it's the way it's our style of play. I think on an individual basis, forget the style of play, him running behind and not being found. When he gets the ball, he needs to do the basics. His touch is a bit off sometimes, and like I said, his basic pinning of a defender, it just needs to improve. He keeps ending up on the floor, especially in the last 2 games. Can I say pissing me off? It's been pissing me off how he's just been end up on the floor every single game. He's not been playing against brutes like Saliba or Gabriel. Obviously, most centre backs around Europe are brutes and big. That's why they're centre backs. But yeah, I think in our team he can be an alternative. We've got 3 different types of strikers. Havertz can mix his game up, come deep, going behind. Similar to Gyökeres, and like I said, Jesus is a bit of a maverick. You're not sure what he's going to do, but he links up play well, and he can make something out of nothing. So I think going forward, Gyökeres will be an alternative. He won't be our Haaland. I just don't see that happening. I don't think he will be, you're our number 1 striker. Nothing happens. If you want to play, you can play. If you don't want to play, you're not going to play. I don't think he's going to be that player. I was hoping he was going to be that player because, if we've got that player who comes in and bags 30 goals, I think the rest take care of itself and we'll be confident we can win stuff. I think we still might win stuff. But, yeah, I don't think Gyökeres will be that player, and I think he will be an alternative. It could depend on the game state of the team we're playing. But, yeah, he won't be our number 1 going forward as a lock. Another question from Ricardo. Does Arteta need to walk if he finishes the season empty-handed again? For context, at the very start of his tenure, I was with Arteta, and everyone knows that season when we started the league with 14 points from 14 games. That was it. My head was gone. But he's redeemed himself, a couple of 8-play finishes, whatever. But in recent years, he's been doing well. Look, there's only 5 trophies in the whole of football in terms of if you come from the Premier League. So, did he have to walk? Possibly. Would you want to give Arteta another, 200, 300 million pound again in the summer to seemingly fix the club, fix the team. I mean, how much fixing does a team really need? What I would say is been unlucky with injuries. I know every team gets injuries, but our injuries seem to be in the key positions, and it always seems to happen at the wrong time. I take you back to Sporting Lisbon when Saliba and Tomiyasu both were injured. I think if one got injured, we could have played Tomiyasu centre back and told Rob Holding to sit down. Don't worry about it, mate. But they both got injured at the same time. Even last season, Saka got his injury. So yeah, I think it's been unlucky with injuries at certain times. People are blaming possibly that the training could be too heavy. That's why we're getting our injuries. But what I would say in defence to that is, when do we actually get time to train? We play every 3 days. So you come back from your away game or your game at home. You have a cool down session the next day, and then you're prepping for the next game, which is the day after. I can't imagine we play a game and then go do a bleep test in training. I think it's just unlucky, and this is what's happening. And it like I said, it's feeding into our ability to win stuff. But I do think I'm going to say I'll say yes. I think if he doesn't win something this year, it has to be considered heavily, especially at the top. I mean, we don't control the club. We're just fans, like I said. It has to be considered heavily if we should actually move on from Arteta if he can't win us a trophy. But like I said, we're in a strong position this year to win something. Touch wood, and with injuries pending, don't stop us, Let's just take a couple more questions or comments. Slide said, I'd keep him, but I just can't believe how great Jesus looked yesterday after 11 months. And a small cameo. Gyökeres has to find a way to do better. Ekitike would have been amazing for us. I think Ekitike would have just he would have fit us like a glove on a hand. His style of play, his ability to link up and weave in between play, get a shot for himself. I think he would have gone to that. When I was talking about two profiles, you got like a Giroud or I don't say Thierry, or like an Adebayor type striker. I think Ekitike would have been more on that Thierry, Adebayor kind of side where a player, they can link up, make something for himself, got a bit of pace about them. Yeah, I think he would have been perfect for us. And like I said, Jesus looked good yesterday, but I do think that was in comparison to what Gyökeres was doing. So it made him look much better than he actually was. But he did look bright, considering he'd been out for 11 months. I'm going to take one last question. Be honest, do you think we messed up with Chelsea and Villa results? Everyone's saying no, but I think City are now favourites to win. With the Chelsea result, I mean, it's a missed opportunity with Chelsea. That was definitely a missed opportunity, given it went down to 10 men in the first half, and we just thought we'd just roll over them. But you have to remember, Chelsea are a top team. I know since they've played us, they've been but away from home, we'd have a divine right to go into Chelsea and just win there, even if they've got 10 men. These teams with 10 men, especially the top team, they know how to defend stoutly with 10 men. We went to City with 10 men and defended the whole time. Obviously, we got unlucky in the last kick of the game. And with Villa, you have to remember with Villa, we only dropped 1 point. I know we lost, but if we had not conceded, we've got the point and be 3 points clear of Man City. So we didn't drop 3 points. We dropped 1 point. So I wouldn't have a head loss over losing 1 point against Villa. But no, I don't think City are favourites. I think we're still favourites, and we get our players back. I think we can kick on. And I mean, obviously this festive season is going to be key. Games every 3 days. We just got to see how we finish the year and requires the coming Gunners. Yeah, I mean, like I said, just a quick stream, just to learn the buttons and stuff and see how it goes. If you're new here, subscribe to the channel, leave a like on the video, leave a comment, all that little jazz, good stuff. And have a blessed day, everyone. Until next time, all the best.